Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I don't know where the rest of the crew is, but there's got to be something with their mics.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
I hear you, J
Yep.
Money. Good morning.
All right. Well, me, Sarang, and Ivan are here. Looks like we're just gonna run away with it without anyone else.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
No, yeah, I can't hear
All
Matei
right.
over
That
spacing.
is
Oh,
here. That is here.
dang it! All right, back to my corner.
All right.
Yeah, I
Let's
gotta
let's.
sign out now.
Okay. So I can hear both of you guys. Ivy, J Money, Sarang. Can you say something, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So I think we can get started. And Mateo's trying to figure it out on his end. I just know that mobile worked for me. So if Mateo could try that, that would be great. All right. So obviously, I cannot share anything. But maybe we could get started. Jay, can you share your screen maybe, and we can talk through things? You could just flip through the charts.
Oh, I can hear.
Oh, Matei,
What's
welcome to the
up?
club. Hey,
Let's
buddy.
go and talk now.
All right, fantastic. I was gonna go ahead without you, but I'm pleased to see you here.
Hey, look at that. The old-fashioned restart.
Oh, that's good. Okay, cool. So how about we kick it off a little bit late? So Jay, kick it off, sir.
Yeah, let's do that. Sorry about the delay. As far as overnight movement, we actually it was super choppy. Stayed in that exact same consolidation that we were in most of the afternoon, basically between 74.20 and 73.90 on SPX. And just now in the pre-market, we're getting a little bit of a push higher into 74.30. So we're trading just below 74.30 in the pre-market here. And as far as the gamma positioning for today, 74.30 is going to be very important. That's a uh, resistance above us, and it gets fairly thin above there, so you could see some continuation higher if you're able to hold above 74.30 after the open. So that's something to watch. It's a potential rejection spot. So we'll see after the open. That will kind of determine the direction for the early part of the session. If you're able to hold above there for upside, if we reject there, we could fade back towards 74.05, 74.10 or so. And then there's a little bit of support, 73.90, which is right around yesterday's lows. We are set to open negative gamma again, which we were in yesterday, which just adds a little bit of speed and volatility to the candles. You can get kind of faster, larger moves. It doesn't mean up or down. It just means that the movement inside of that range can be a little bit more volatile. So that's where we're at. And really, you'd have to clear 74.30 and then 74.50 for a larger move up. Those are the two most important resistances above us based on dealer positioning on the tape today.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. Matei, you're up, sir.
Good morning. S&DK is my focus this morning. Big 11% drop yesterday. On the higher time frame, we're breaking down under the major moving averages, still above the 200. But this is a pretty big support pivot from May. That's held a few times back in May. And then also got a bit of a reaction earlier this month, a couple weeks ago. And then we broke, kind of sliced through yesterday and then started to bounce a little bit into the close. So basically, the way I'm thinking about SNDK is it's in play ahead of some bigger earnings this week, and we can see two-way trading on this. So I'm not actually too stuck on one direction on this one. After a pretty big drop here, this looks like a bit of a washout. It can still see that third day where you get a bigger flush toward 1,000, but it could also put in a really nice failed breakdown, given this is pretty big support on the daily. So when we look at the pre-market structure, we have good volume, good trending action, which this typically leads to an opening drive flush. But one nuance here is that the it's starting to get a little bit better for the opening drive now to the downside, but The RSI was fairly oversold still earlier this morning. That is starting to work off a little bit though. So two trades to look at. Uh, a reclaim long of 1222, 1,222. If you can hold above that, I think we can see a relief bounce. And then if we reject that area on any small bounce or front side move, or just push lower through the pre-market lows, it's a very textbook opening drive, especially with this bounce. The RSI is getting much better now and has room for downside. So this is a pretty darn textbook setup. The only nuance I would say don't like is just our data around continuation setups over the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's not been very good. There's not been very many days that see follow through after a big drop, so or a move to the upside. So it's just we still have to just take the trade for what it is, but it's worth making sure you're honoring stops, keeping stops tight or size down a little bit if you'd rather do that. So SNDK, that'll be the focus for me today.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. All right, let's get started with the rest of the watch list here. Nvidia 190 puts below 195.44 could be looked at for a continuation move below yesterday's lows. A quite significant move lower yesterday, breaking below some support, breaking trend line. And the only thing I could see here that's in our way that is worth mentioning would be the 200-day moving average, which is around that 193 area. So obviously there you might see a little bit of a reaction, but a continuation move would be a break of that 195 area into that 193, which at that point would be a magnet. Some point today, if we see continuation lower, I'm looking for a little bit of a bounce into potentially tomorrow FOMC, but we'll see. We'll kind of we'll pivot as we see it, I guess, throughout the day. Just an idea that I have. Now, next would be Apple. Matej just mentioned, continuation plays and not playing out as frequently as we've seen in the past. Apple saw that continuation yesterday off of that July 24th push, and we saw new all-time highs. We're still sitting just below that 340. So I would watch that 339.57, 340 break for 342.50 call. I would see this as a bit of a scalp, but I would still look for that continuation to the upside. It's been very, very strong. A put play here, SPX would be below 74.85. Watch 74.70 puts. Next would be Tesla. I like this one for a downside play, Tesla. This one is now one time framing lower. It has been doing that ever since the gap down on earnings. And although the candles are getting smaller, which could potentially put a little bit of a damper to that one time framing, but as long as we're one time framing, as long as we're getting lower lows, lower highs, I'm just gonna kind of use that as my reference. You might see a little bit of a kick safe today, but I'm curious to see if it does bounce, if they sell into it, or if they put in a little bit of an inside day maybe today. But if not, I like this for a continuation below yesterday's lows for a 300 tag. A couple more here. Netflix, another one that's been relatively strong, and that gap is getting filled. Although we closed near the lows yesterday, it's coming back really nicely today, displaying some nice relative strength after that gap down on earnings. And so I would continue watching this on dips and that gap fill above. EA had earnings and it is slightly green. This one is tricky, but we
Space Monkey's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, it's very hard to know who is there and who is not.
can you
If you're
not hear
putting
me?
staying him. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Okay. All right, I'm here. So I was talking about BA. So I don't know where I left off, but I'm just talking about that being an offside play today. I'm gonna watch that green to red move, and this could sell back down to 200, or if this just kind of tests that and holds the green, could be a nice little upside move. So a couple of things to play there. I had earnings. A couple more here. Spot. I think spot a little bit of a pressure cooker kind of setup here. It's been shown strength, but not really pushing through this 500. We are currently gapping up above 500. So I would watch for that 500 to hold. I'll be watching 510 calls. My intention with this would be for a move towards that 200-day above at 530-ish area above. And then lastly here, Snow. Snow, very, very defined setup. It is a trickier name, but we've seen some relative strength in some software names. Snow has been relatively strong. I'm going to watch 280, and we can see 5 points at least above into that 285 and change. So, all in all, I think it's going to be tricky. I'll still be looking for a downside play in SPX, but also cognizant that we do have FOMC and we might see an opposite move to the upside. Sarang, you're up.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Um, So I'm watching a couple of names. The first one is GLW. GLW actually reported earning, and earning was good, but they have guided lowers on the growth. So that's the reason the stock is gapping up 15%, whereas implied move was around 10.8%. So what I'll be watching is since earning has reported very recently, so I will watch intraday pattern, but from higher time frame. This 123 to 125 area is a big level. So we'll see how we react around that. So maybe a pop above that, and if we couldn't hold, so I'll be looking to play short on that one. Uh, Second one I'm watching is the ASML. ASML actually a day to set up, but I don't know. So ASML had a news yesterday, and we had break a major level like 1,700 area. I was watching from quite a few days, and we had a major breakdown. I think they have a the way they manufacture the chip. I think the China is also manufacturing the similar chip, so that's the reason we had a big sell off in the ASML yesterday. I think from the stock had opened around 1,800, and we capped down to 1,600, almost 200 point drop. So I'm watching two trade here. So we're trading in between. So let's say 1,000 530 to 1,550 area. We'll see how we react there. So if we see the dips are getting brought back, so this was the major area where we held earlier. So we'll watch like 1,530 to 1,550 for the reversal trade. Downside is looking tricky on this one at this level. So if it was like 1,600 area, then would have been a very defined day to continuation. We could have target 1,530 to 50 area. So let's see how it react. Third one, I'm watching the Boeing. I think numbers were missed. So mostly I'm watching the intraday pattern on this one. So this is a bit tricky stock. So my plan is like 318 to 320 area for the rejection with some kind of pattern. So we'll not be watching like at the open. Maybe I'll wait for it. Last stock I'm watching is TSM. I think TSM had reported earning few days back, and we had a nice bounce from 385 area. We rallied higher, so I think we are back around the same area. So 385 is a very defined level, but below that we have a 200-day moving average around 383. So the plan is as long as we hold below 386 to 387 area, we look for a downside play on this one. So I think simple continuation below 385, 386, but there is no pre-market structure on this one. So I will watch some intraday pattern on this one TSM. And the memory name, I think Mate covered very well, Micron, SNDK, but I would like to hold on the memory name because SK Hynix is going to report the earning today. So let's see how it goes, and maybe I will trade tomorrow the memory name. So I think we have FOMC and major earning tomorrow. So what I'm expecting is, especially in the second half, we could see a reversal or short covering rally to the upside. So either today we will see the rally, or maybe tomorrow we will see the gap up. So, but let's see how we uh, set up. Yeah, that's all from my end.
Okay. Thank you. You guys can still hear me, right, guys?
Yeah, it sounds like the input might be different than normal, but we can hear you fine.
Mm,
It's
no, it's
picking
the
up a lot
normal.
of background noise for some reason.
All right. I'm just going to do this part and then I'm going to sign off. Actually, I can't really focus with this audio issue going on. But let's get through
It sounds
these.
okay right now.
Okay. Let's get through the charts and then we'll make a decision. Any names that you guys want us to take a look at? La Lily gapping up nicely. Yeah, Eli Lilly is nice. It's been struggling with that 1200, but let's see if it holds on the back test today. Cost, nice. Higher. Seems to be some sort of rotation going on here, noticing. Retail is up nicely. It gapped up above the 200 day. That's around 960. So when the stock does that, note that yesterday's highs was right at that. I'd like to see it validated. So let's see if it does see a back test. Could be a nice little hold there in turn. Otherwise, not a whole lot. I don't want to chase cost. NBIS looks weak. I don't
Can you guys hear us?
You dropped off again.
If you can hear me, I'll just keep it going.
Yeah.
Well,
I
actually,
hear
we
you.
only have 1 minute, guys. So let's get positioned here for the open. SNDK, nice push pull over here. We focus at the open SNDK. And then NVIDIA could be a cheaper way to play. It's the same type of setup. Continuation. I plan to wait at least 5 minutes after the open, though, on this one. Apple SNDK here. Nice pop through the highs from yesterday. Apple. SNDK, pre-market low break here. Doesn't trap. It's a pretty textbook open drive to 1000. If it does trap, it just hands off for a little bit. TXN breaking lower. Oh, I lied. It's not breaking lower. It's just my alert went off. Apple really strong off the open here, guys. Yeah, dang. That was really good. Similar to yesterday, but even stronger.
We have consumer confidence, by the way, at 10 a.m.
Yep, good call. Google strong at the open also. 100 day. All right, now on SNDK, watch this. If this fails the sweep, then it's a nice short. If it holds the sweep, then we'd be thinking failed breakdown.
Matei, thoughts on Meta?
Got earnings tomorrow, right? But we have is it tomorrow, Thursday?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. I like it over 600. At 600 reclaim could be a run up into earnings. Below 595 for puts. See what ATR is. That's wide open for ATR. Come on, SNDK is outrageous. Apple, Meta pops at the opening. He sold a little bit. They're still holding fine. But watch if those start to sell, watch memory. If memory starts to bounce with those selling, we've been seeing a ton of those rotation type trades. 188s -1 on Nvidia. Nvidia much cheaper way to play. Chips downside. SNDK shares, it's probably easier here. Risking prior bars. Signal would be below the lows.
$74.05 is trying to hold on SPX. Needs to clear 74.10 for a push back towards 74.30. Could see more downside below 74.05.
Short on SNDK is really nice, guys. The premium is just absolutely nuts. And NVIDIA is holding the 200. To 1150 support. Okay.
I just picked up some Meta 650 calls for 731 for $7.30. Small contract, small size.
Let's see if we can get through 600 here. Six or 115 put GLW looks like a front side short. Anybody catch SNDK? It's paying in support here. I bet 800's moved, Steve. Lower Apple holding. Went a little lower here. BA not doing anything. NVIDIA holding that 200. SNDK reacting to that 1122 support. GLW looks pretty good here. Decent spread on the GLW. It's better for shares, probably. Then be a bit of a front side rejection at the opening print, or I'm sorry, the closing print from yesterday. There we go, SNDK. Guys, those premiums, alerting $5,000 premiums, I just decided not to alert that, but calling it out here live. Hopefully some of you are catching that move. Pretty textbook trade. 1050s went from like 37 to 48. It's pretty good. Here comes NVIDIA. Watch NVIDIA. NVIDIA is held back a little bit, I think, by the 200-day. But if it loses that, it could be a really nice waterfall and cheaper way to play this move. Make sure I'm not imagining things here. Hold on one sec. Get the exact number, 192.99. So 193. And closing some GLW here at 3. About 20%. On SNDK, I would trail majority of size at the 5 bar. The way that it's acting. NVIDIA can pay here if it breaks. I would say NVIDIA, really good risk reward against this bar high. This bar high is a nice trade. And then if that trails out, just wait and just sit on hands. Have to be fast. Premiums didn't really move too well on SNDK on that push to the low of day. Watching the 192.50 puts on NVIDIA, also not really moving that good. See if they start to speed up here. There's a move lower. NVIDIA firm past the 200 here. NVIDIA 200-day break. Feel the pressure, guys, in semis right now. You can feel it. SNDK likes to drop and see really violent bounces. It's not doing that. It's really a lot of pressure to the downside here. NVIDIA broke to 200. Now we see that's a break of pre-market lows as well. S&P is trying to break the lows from yesterday, but still above it. So there's a little bit of risk there if it holds. So on NVIDIA, I won't take that trade just yet. I think it'll set up another entry. Just going to be patient for that. I will alert that if it sets up. That best entry was what I called out, risking that prior bar. You had to be fast, though. There's risk in the market holding here. If we hold the lows and we see NVIDIA sweep the pre-market lows, hold to 200, and SNDK start to reverse off 1100, could see some rotation again. So just keep that in mind. Apple's still holding up pretty nicely. Google lower, Meta lower with the market. Boeing up at the highs. See how this bounce looks. Weak bounce can set up more downside for semis. Bigger bounce could see rotation in the market. So if SM's mic comes back on or something, let me know in the chat so I'm not over talking over anybody. Getting print low short on SPX. I would wait for the lows because you're so. I see what you're saying, but it's different context. Yesterday you opened with a gap up, right, and you rolled over. We're lower now, so yeah, you could short the orb, but it's a totally different type of setup. Yeah, I would rather trade the breakdown. If you break down under 73.80, that's the short, in my opinion, at this stage. The front side is easier off of a bounce. These pops on SNDK, real weak, really weak
All right,
SNDK.
this is the back test of 7405. So possible back test short entry here if you want to be short. If you get back above 7405, it favors more upside. Quick rejection so far. So that'll be the thing to watch. 7405 rejects, you make new lows.
Yeah, nice call, Chad. So we can break the lows on SNDK here. It's gonna be a secondary entry on NVIDIA. Might be better to wait for the market, excuse me, to break lows. Ours 1084 and SNDK. Those just like that. Okay. Growing 5 bars on SNDK. You're still holding. On break SNDK. Big move to ATR here. SPX is very close to that breakdown. The money I may have missed, but well, now I'm looking at the gamma. This looks like really textbook, technically, but as far as gamma goes, looks like there's really not a whole lot below us if we fail 80. S&P held again, another attempt at 7,400. Guys, market's trying to reclaim 7,400. Still a lot of resistance, 7,405. If we can get through 7,410 and see semis bounce off the lows, that could be a nice squeeze type setup into FOMC tomorrow. Uh, Under 73.80 to me is pretty darn textbook for a breakdown at this point. Very defined, not a whole lot below in terms of gamma as well. So market's trying to hold. NVIDIA defended the 200-day so far. I'd be careful front running, but this could set up a nice squeeze if we can get back above the highs. I need to be on mute for a little bit. That's really all I'm watching. So I watched puts below 73.80, calls above 74.10 ish, and let the semis be your signal. Apple's holding just fine. Google's looking better. Meta's looking better. Boeing at the highs. I think it's all about that semi trade. So no, I didn't say Siri. Phone. All right, I'll be on mute for a little bit, but I'm here, so I'll keep an eye on the chat.